How's it going, everybody? This is Dominic Minchella. I am the Kansas City Chiefs beat writer on SI and the host of the Kansas City Chiefs Insider Podcast. Once again, thank you guys so much for stopping in whenever you are. I do very much appreciate it. So, yesterday, Friday, May 16th, the Kansas City Chiefs signed veteran offensive lineman Tremayne Anchrum to a contract for the 2025 NFL campaign. In to make a room for the new addition, they have placed Keontae Ingram on the injured reserve after he cleared waivers. So this is actually a smart pickup when you think about it and you actually dive into what the Chiefs' needs are. They needed to address the offensive line this past offseason after the Super Bowl, which they have in multiple ways, both through the NFL draft and through pro free agency. Now, this signing allows the Chiefs to kind of work with Josh Simmons through his injury at a different pace. Say if there was any setbacks, right? There's any setbacks in his injury recovery, anything like that, his rehab. This is a great signing to kind of allow him to get into that mojo to fill the need of the role while not further pushing too far into his recent knee injury. But a little bit about Ankrum. He was the 250th pick by the Los Angeles Rams in the 2020 draft. He spent 3 years with the LA Rams. In those 3 years, he played 31 games and only one start. He was on the Super Bowl roster when they ended up winning it. So I guess you can say that he is a Super Bowl champion as well. While he hasn't played in the NFL since 2023. He did play in 17 games that season, but then afterwards he kind of went on his own way. The most recently, he was a part of the Houston Texans organization. They signed him this past season, but he didn't come to play any snaps or anything like that. They signed him to a reserve future contract, and they released him on April 21st. He has also spent time with the New Orleans Saints as well as the Seattle Seahawks. As you can tell, though, from the time that I just said, he hasn't played in the NFL since the 2023 season, at 2013, 2023 season. So those stints didn't necessarily last very long. He is a guy that is really a remarkable story. You don't hear a lot of guys getting picked up in the 7th round, 250th overall, who are able to make a career out of it. Still young. He's 26 years old. He still has a chance to be able to crack this roster with training camp coming up and OTAs as well. This is a time for him to show, hey, I can be a crucial part in your franchise, which is huge, though, like I said, with the offensive line. So we know that they signed Jalen Moore, and he kind of has that let me prove it attitude to him, meaning that during his time in San Francisco, he didn't necessarily start a bunch of games. He was featured, and when he was featured, he was very good. But now transitioning into Kansas City with the hopes that he can develop into a starting left tackle, that would be awesome. Really cool thing about Anchrum, though, is that he has experience playing on the offensive line, not just at a designated position. He has played some tackle in the past, even in his rookie season with the Rams, but most likely he would be used as a guard. He adds depth to the O-line with Moore, Simmons, Trey Smith. Anytime that anyone gets hurt, it's better to have picked up a guy who has experience in the league, whether it's be limited or not. It's smart to pick up a guy that way and sign him to a potential contract to where he could actually make the roster rather than just joining the roster and filling in as a practice squad member. While I wouldn't put it past if he doesn't have a terrific training camp or an offseason that kind of wows the front office, I could see a world where the Kansas City Chiefs either move on from him or they just put him right back to where he was in the practice squad. But he has a tad of playoff experience. And 2 years with LA, he's touched the field in those games that he's played. So, all in all, safe signing. Not too shabby from the front office, but it does raise some eyebrows. It's like, do they feel confident after the NFL draft signing or drafting an offensive lineman, but now they're, adding more depth to the offensive line? And to that, or just that hypothesis, I would say that regardless if they didn't feel confident enough, I think that it's a smart move. The NFL is filled with injuries. There's everybody who gets hurt every now and then. And a guy like this who has experience is going to be able to fill the needs that you need him to. While it might not be the biggest needs in the world, he can go out there and defend the quarterback. He's got a big size. He's that guy that any way that we can get Patrick Mahomes staying on his feet more than he was last season will be a plus. It's very, very crucial to see that these guys will be able to, these young guys, primarily Simmons, Moore, and Anchrum, if they are consistently a part of this offensive line scheme, it's smarter to see what they've got now in training camp or ahead of training camp versus down the line week 11, 12, and you're scrambling to try and find some pieces to fill in. So that being said, a little recap just for everything. Tremayne Anchrum is now with the Kansas City Chiefs. They signed him on Friday, May 16th, and we were going to see if he's going to be able to make the roster. Congratulations to Tremayne. Huge opportunity. Looking forward to seeing you play. Hopefully you do make the roster. I'm rooting for you. That being said, guys, as you can see on the ticker down below, you can follow me on X, formerly Twitter, at Dominchella. I post and repost every single day. You don't want to miss anything as we continuously get closer to the 2025 season. Or you can follow us on X at KC Chiefs on SI. All of our stories get posted there daily, and we would love to strike up some conversation with you guys. That's going to conclude it. As always, I'll see you guys tomorrow. Be kind to one another. See ya.